So I don't know if it's maybe precautionary or something, but he had a sling on. So that's obviously not good. And that obviously points to he wasn't playing if that was a regular season game. There's no way. He talked about just landing awkwardly, and it was a weird play. I'm 50-50 on this right now. I got to see what happens tomorrow. But as of right now, if you're going to ask me my gut feeling, I'm opposite of you just from being in that interview and talking to him a little bit. I know he was out there trying to do what he could, but he didn't seem like a guy that was like, he was trying to walk around of him not playing.
So here's the tangible thing. If he doesn't go, then that's a big loss for them. And listen, I'm on the George Pickens is going to be the best wide receiver on this team by the time the year is over. But what do we know Deontay Johnson does at a very elite level? And that's compared not just to the rest of the receivers on this team, but all across the NFL. He gets open faster than almost anybody in the NFL. He's unbelievable within a couple yards of the line of scrimmage. So why do I say that that's a particularly big loss for this game and maybe a bunch of games this year? Their offensive line isn't going to protect most likely. That ball is going to be out quick. It's going to be a lot of quick hitting shots. Well, that makes a receiver that gets open very quickly extra valuable. If he's not out there and they have guys who are more used to running slower developing or longer developing routes, however you want to put it, Richie, that's going to put Mitch Trubisky in danger because it's going to put extra onus on that offensive line. They need him for this game. They need him for every game because he has a very unique and very relevant set of skills given what their offensive shortcomings are.
He was a big reason why they won that game in Buffalo, the first game. And I had the same feeling about this game. They could maybe, catch the Bengals by surprise here a little bit. But before we take a break, I understand the depth chart, but what receiver would kind of take his place? I mean, we know that George Pickens and Chase Claypool would start the game. Do you think you'd see more of a Miles Boykin or a Sims out there?
I mean, would it be Gunnar Olszewski?
Or even Gunnar.
I think Gunnar may be like a guy who was showing them a little bit of something from the slot. You know what it would actually be? It'd probably be like a Boykin type, now that I'm thinking about it, because you know who's probably best suited to run in the slot? I mean, Deontay Johnson doesn't run in the slot to begin with. He runs outside. Chase Claypool will be in the slot. Pickens will be out there on one end, and then probably one of the bigger guys, so maybe Boykin. But they want Deontay Johnson on the outside because he can get open so quickly. He can run those little in routes. Claypool they probably want in the slot because he's sort of an interesting mismatch. But it fouls up everything. And you know what it does, Richie? George Pickens, we all love him. We're all excited about watching what he's going to do. The Bengals will just roll extra coverage towards the guy that looks like the most dangerous one on the field if Deontay Johnson's not out there.
Yeah, and he's no question the most dangerous. And, it's a little disappointing if you can't play. I'd like to see the Steelers at full strength for that first game, just to see how good they can be or how good they're not right now and what this offense can do with him out there because, my biggest worry from day one wasn't necessarily the quarterback, Chris. It was this offensive coordinator. And does this offense work in the NFL? Because we saw it last year, and we can blame Ben, but we can also blame Matt Canada, and I think it was a little bit of both. I'm just anxious to see this offense in the NFL.
Well, Richie, I know we got to take a break, so I'll be quick here, but I mean, last year we said that you couldn't tell what Matt Canada's offense actually was because Ben Roethlisberger just wasn't mobile enough to run it, and so they kind of scrapped it in favor of some sort of weird hybrid Frankenstein that incorporated some principles from what each guy could do well or wanted to do well. How do we know we're going to see Matt Canada's offense this year? If his offensive line can't protect long enough for these plays to actually develop, then it's not going to be the Matt Canada offense. So I'm worried that this is going to be 2 years in a row where we don't really see it.
And will he last? That's another big question. I mean, if they have another poor performing offense this year. All right, we got to take a break. Back with your phone calls. Some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there. 412-575-2600 on the Bordas and Bordas Hotline.